What's up, everybody? What is going on? As y'all can see, I made. Ooh, let me turn it back down. Hold on. Let me turn my speakers back down because I be wanting to listen to my music while I before. See, that this is gonna drive me crazy all night. Ladies, y'all understand my trouble. Don't you hate when you got on off the shoulder and then it always riding up? So you got to try to sit cute to keep it down.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I said ladies. I didn't say nothing to you, Rick. But what is going on, everybody? Listen, I'm gonna say my little piece here in the beginning, but this ain't my show tonight. This Rick show, and this is all about Rick, because when I say I don't watch porn, I have never had an issue with a man wanting to watch porn or watching too much porn. I have to put it that way, that I felt like it was an issue within the relationship. Yeah. So I have absolutely no perspective on this whatsoever. And I am waiting to be educated by the audience and you on now. Granted, I most definitely can see the perspective of how it would affect a relationship, but I personally don't have any experience with it. So I'm really, I can't wait. And last night I did Pussy Talk. I love CL. Oh my God, she's so hilarious. And I mentioned on the show at the end of the show that was going to be the topic. And when I say all the fellas, well, you were listening last night. All the fellas was like, oh yeah. I was really shocked at the number of men who agree that it is an issue within the relationship and that it can cause problems. So I'm excited to get the male perspective on that, and I hope that we have plenty of other men and women, to chime in on this subject tonight, because like this new to me. But I tell you, I'm loving this fucking chair on this wall. I am loving this chair, y'all. I changed the studio around a little bit and put my chair over here on the signature wall. This red against this black wall is popping. Now I just need additional signatures to fill up. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some gifts in here and fill up my wall. Yeah. So that it can look even better against the wall. But let's I ain't even got no story to tell tonight. I've been in the house other than I had to shut dude ass down last.
Boy. They should have saw that.
Man, I wish I could pull a clip. Like I need to tell CL to send me that clip, y'all. Yeah. Hey, Christy, she said she wanted to come in. I made sure I sent Christy a reminder. Hey, Christy, welcome. Yeah, he gonna tell me. So y'all, last night, and then we gonna let Rick have the mic. So last night I did another podcast, right? And we were kind of talking. I can't even remember what the subject was when I asked the question. Oh, about pussy, whether or not it was a gift. Yeah. And I was like, I'll take some good dick as a gift. Like, as long as it's good dick, I don't mind. It's me, my gift. Put it in a bowl, whatever, how you want to serve it. I'm going to take it. And so the fellas, two of these fellas, they were like, nah, that ain't no gift. I don't want that. That's the same thing. I had it. You
Yeah.
gave it to me yesterday. Now you gonna give it to me again, act like it's a gift. And so I was like, well, I'm concerned. How you gonna be with pussy you don't want every day? Like, in my mind, whether you give it to me as a gift or not, every day I want it. It doesn't matter to me that it's Christmas and you want to come in and pretend like your dick is my present or whatever. I'm gonna accept that present. So, and the way I phrased it to them, I was like, I'm a little different because I'm in my prime. So how about this guy? Man, this little dude who couldn't even show his face. You come up in there talking major shit, but you ain't showing your face. I really want to know what he looked like.
I was like,
and then I was confused when and don't get me wrong, because I didn't think he was talking to me at first when he kept saying young lady. Because I'm like, I know you can see on this picture, on this screen, ain't shit young about me, but I appreciate it because I was like, is he talking to me? I was a little confused. And so then when I realized he was talking to me, that's when I was like, I'm not a young lady. And you see all the women gasp when he asked me how old I was. It was like, oh my God, ask a woman. But I proudly proclaimed my 53 because I am the fine ass auntie. 53. And so he gonna try to tell me, well, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, but you're not in your prime. It's the women when women are in their prime in their 20s, early 30s, when their bodies is tight and all this stuff. And I said, excuse me. So I had to educate him. Ladies are in our prime because as we get older, our estrogen levels drop, them testosterone levels go up, and it increases our libido, which is why, because men as they age, testosterone level drop, which is why we have that, older women be like, damn it, leads to the older women, younger men situation. Because most men, I have to be honest, most men in my age group can't always hang with me.
Well, damn, KO.
Listen.
You kill a motherfucker for 12.
He killed me for 12. I just hung in there.
Yeah, but you hung in there. Oh,
I hung in there. I'm in my prime, baby. When I say I'm in my prime, I say it all the time. You get it up. My job is to keep working with you until we get it down. But now, however long that takes, that's how long it takes.
Well,
that should have been a porno.
Hey, I feel that I'm in my prime now because I'm actually in better shape now than I was.
Now that does make a difference.
I swear.
Now that I agree with. If you take care of your body and you're in good shape, then issues with testosterone level is not as bad with men. But if you got poor diet habits, lack of exercise, all of those different kind of things, then it can be an issue. I'm kind of looking. I need to turn that light down a little bit.
Yeah, because
flip it off. Look up underneath. Flip it off.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Because I was looking up. I was like, ooh, I'm already a little light, and it just kind of drowned me out. That's a little bit better. I'm gonna have to figure out the lighting with the new setup. But anyway. So I had to check him real quick on that, and he come talking about it. Women in their 20s and 30s can use their bodies to negotiate with men what they want. Us grown women ain't got to use our bodies to negotiate. Man, you ain't got nothing I need. I'm taking care of myself. So I had to shut him down real quick. That was a damn. Everybody was like, damn, she checked his ass, and he shut up too. He got real quiet.
He did
for the rest of the night.
I said. Because I was on my phone, I was like, shit, I can't see it.
He wasn't showing his face. So you can't come in talking bullshit and not want to show your face. But okay, y'all. This ain't my show tonight. I'm about to turn over.
One more recap.
What we recapping? The TikTok video.
Why you kill Buddy like that?
Listen, I had to do. If y'all have not seen the TikTok clip from last Friday's show, you need to go out there, Red Wine Convo on TikTok, and look at that clip. It is freaking hilarious. I'm sorry. I had to put it out there because, dude, you can't come up in my show talking crazy to me. And then for you to make his own assumption that I was trying to accuse me. That's what I'm looking for, to accuse me of trying to make it sound like he was trying to get in my drawers. Nigga, no. What are you doing that?
Everybody I was talking to was like, because I sent it to everybody, and it was like, so what happened with the girl?
Exactly, because that's what everybody say. Well, what was up with little chick? Like, what did little crazy say? What little crazy do? Because that's what was the confusing part. And even in the clip, I said that we wasn't even talking about you. No. And he had to tell her, I'm all up in the mix. No, you wasn't in the mix. We were talking about her. But you wanted to focus on you, but what you was trying to prove had no bearing. Yeah. Like, because I don't remember any of that you're talking about, and it has nothing to do with the story that I'm trying to tell about her. Yeah, he be all right. He be all right. Hopefully he gonna get TikTok famous over there. I don't know if he know the video is out there.
Oh, you killed him.
I haven't heard from him. I don't have him blocked on anything, but I haven't heard from him. So I don't know if he even realizes it's out there or if anybody has told him or not. I could care less. But let's get on to the topic of the show. Let's get on to the topic of the show because I need this education and I need this perspective. And I hope people are going to comment and chime in on this because porn has never been an issue for me. One, because I'm not a watcher. And I've never had a man who had a porn issue.
Okay, let me start where I can start my story.
Okay.
I guess younger, I was fascinated by it. I've always been a sexual, that's my thing. I always wanted to learn about women so I could be the greatest. But that's just my mind.
So you use porn to get educated on sex?
No. I mean, I read books.
Really?
Oh man!
Are you gonna have the ladies up in your
no? Don't
Kama
get my
Sutra?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did. I read Kama Sutra. Okay.
So I wanted to see because growing up, everybody's like, man, my old man got these porn on VHS. So we snuck out and looked at them, and I was like, man, damn, where can I find me a woman like that? So that started my crazy stuff going on.
So how often did you watch porn?
As often as I could. I mean, like every day if I could. But I'm gonna tell you, he had racks and racks of porno on VHSs.
Okay, and I may be jumping forward because I know you were married.
Yeah.
Were you still watching porn during your marriage, and do you feel like it was an issue in the marriage?
No, I didn't. I kind of, by that time, I got burnt out because I started so early in it that once you got to a certain point, it started to be like, and that's the way I am with it now. I'm just like, if I see it, it's, I'm only going to watch a minute and a half. So you can show me like a 30-second clip and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But anything over that, I start to tune it out. But see, what happens is if I see like porn now, I can be scrolling through because it's all on my Twitter. I follow all kind of crazy shit on my Twitter. But if I see a girl that looks young, it fucks me up. So I'm done. I don't like young girls.
I'm gonna tell you, I get it because men, as we were talking about, y'all are in your prime in your 18, 20, those early ages. So I can see how porn would be a big attraction to men at that age. But when does it become an issue? I guess is what I'm.
Once you get in your 30s and you trying to settle down and have a family, if you have to watch it every single day. Now I know one guy that does watch every day. Every day.
Does he have a girlfriend or wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have to watch it in order to?
No, that was my question to him. What's the deal? No, he said I just enjoy it. He said I can watch it and we can go and do our thing. And my question to him was, do you have to watch it in order to be intimate with her? He was like, no. But I didn't understand it. So it just, and then all of a sudden I said, I started asking everybody because I really wanted to know then.
Mm-hmm.
And me wanting to know all about this came from a friend of mine sending me a clip last week.
Was that the one you
Yeah.
shared with me? Okay.
And then I was like, so I've been on that for like a week straight because I was curious.
Okay, so you haven't had a situation where porn was an issue with you within a relationship. Okay,
because
but the girl sending you the clip is what I was like. Oh, okay. I was waiting. I was like, "Ooh, Pretty Ricky, hey, Kanisha." I was like, "Ooh, I'm waiting on you to tell me the story about where you've been beating it so bad." You got so tied up with the porn that you
But in my early 20s, I was heavily in porn. And then it got to a point to where, okay, it became a gateway. And I'm like, so what after this? Okay, it's got to be something to top this.
That's interesting. Kanisha says, wouldn't that be considered an addiction? Porn is an addiction, is a real thing. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Sex addiction is a real thing. So that would definitely fall within that category. And for somebody that has to watch it every day, that would be concerning to me in a relationship. Like, as his wife, how does she deal with his need to watch porn every day? Because I feel some type of way about that.
A lot of women do. I'm sure a lot of women.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way about that because, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna want that attention as opposed to you giving that attention. You want to see it. Excuse me. I said it last week. You want to see a naked woman. I prefer you look at me.
Yeah.
And let me put on a performance for you than for you to be sitting up watching porn. But I know a couple of people, because I've asked a few folks about it. And one of the things one of the ladies shared with me was that he had issues getting hard with her.
Right.
But he could get hard to porn and jack off. But he couldn't get hard with her and maintain to orgasm.
That's got to be a lack of interest.
It's something in your partner.
Yeah, like, it's something. It's something in his mind. It's a mind block. Gotta be, because if you don't get hard for somebody you so gonna love, it means you tired of it. It's just the same.
Well, I mean, I guess I can see that from the perspective of I'm kind of like that. If I lose interest in you, then yeah, it's difficult. Like for women, if I'm not interested in it, I'm not gonna get wet.
Right.
And that makes the difference. The more I'm into you, the wetter I'm going to get. Right. But once you start turning me off, then it's difficult for me to get wet with you and get excited about having sex with you. But then at that time, I can't be in a relationship with you if I'm not interested.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm like that. If I ain't interested, it ain't.
But I'm gonna tell you, last night on the thing, I found it really surprising how most of the men admitted that they felt like porn is an issue within relationships. But the odd thing to me about that is they say it's an issue, but yet what do they, I mean, like, what do you do about that? Like, how do you get past a porn addiction? How do you change that perception of needing porn in order to fulfill your relationship? Because that's gonna play hard on whoever your woman is.
I don't know how you fix that, but I ain't a psychiatrist, so if it's like that, man, I don't know how you fix it. I'm happy I ain't never had that problem.
Christy says, or could it be that he's not getting the same stimulation he gets by watching porn? And that's a good question. That's a good question. Some people are visual, and he needs that visual stimulation. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could be in a relationship where he had to have that visual. Like we got to watch porn in order for us to have good sex or to have sex. That would be a problem.
A lot of people do it. So how do you? Okay, say he's 45. Say she's 40, and all of a sudden she wants to have it all. Wants to have sex all the time.
That don't happen with a 40-year-old. Absolutely.
Yeah. So say he gonna get tired of it. He told to be like, I don't want to do it every day. But say he watches porn and then he's able to do it every day. Would you think would the 40-year-old woman get mad at him for doing it then?
Yes. You have to think about this. Women are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
We are emotional by nature. And so if you have, even though ultimately I'm benefiting from you watching porn every day and it's getting you excited and you getting up, I'm going to have an issue with the fact that you have to use something else to stimulate you to get you ready for me. That's a problem for me. That's going to make a woman feel less than and unattractive.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, now I don't know if my doorbell is acting up.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because there's nobody at my gate.
No.
And this has been happening this has happened a couple of times. I'm gonna have to change that doorbell out. All of a sudden I've been having ghost rings, and then I go to look and there's nobody there. So I don't know what's going on with that doorbell. Might be dude sneaking up from last week coming up to my doorbell. But anyway.
He looked enough fit under the gas.
You have to be able to make sure you didn't get caught in the camera, sneak by there and hit the thing. And then the ding dong dash. Ain't that what they call it? Yeah, the ding dong dash. But yeah, but as a woman, that most definitely would be an issue for me because I would feel some type of way.
You sure?
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, because Tiger ain't barking for no reason. You got it? Okay, y'all give us a second. I'm not the... I got to see what y'all saying. Okay, ladies. Hold on. Here we go. Porn addiction. Hold on. I'm new at this. I'm trying to... Okay. Hold on.
You got some word. We gotta get back with that dead air, okay?
You can't be just...
I can't be gone that long. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I just went ahead and opened up the door and let the dogs out. So whoever it is, you're going to have to deal with Sasha and Tiger out there in the yard.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, because I was out there trying to look to see what they were barking at, but I didn't see anything. And so I was like, let me just go on and open the door and let them out.
And it just got quiet. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm over here messing with it.
Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Because I'm telling you, listen, I told my son-in-law, he's out of town right now. When he gets back, I am going to up the security over here and put up some more cameras around that gate in a few of my blind spots, because I don't know if it's my ring that's acting up or if somebody actually is coming up ringing it and then making sure they stay outside of the camera. Because really all you got to do is kind of reach around and push the button and then take off. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, so back to porn. So like I know as a woman, that most definitely would make me feel some type of way if he required that much stimulation from another source in order for us to have sex. That would be a major issue for me.
Yeah.
Especially with me being a physical woman, that would be a major issue for me. And then the other thing, and I'm sorry, I have to bring this out. I done got hot after getting up, going to check. I have to bring this subject up. The other thing is, what type of porn is he watching? Because now it depends on what type of porn that's getting him excited. Because if you like watching little boys or whatever, I'm just saying, I'm gonna keep that. That's gonna be a problem for me. And if you got to watch whatever, then for that to get you excited, I mean, so the type of porn they watch, and me as a black woman, if you like watching white women, Chinese girls, different, if that's what excites you, then I'm gonna be like, well, why are you with me as a black woman if you watching, porn from you like white women? Like what?
I mean,
that's a problem for me.
Porn is just a fantasy.
No, it's not a fantasy. It's a desire. It is not a fantasy. I'm sorry. Even though I haven't dealt with it, I'm sorry. That's some bullshit to say it's fantasy. That people like to watch what they desire. Even fantasies are what you desire. And so one day I feel like you're going to eventually want to act upon those desires. Yeah. So that's some bullshit. You can't say it don't mean nothing. Oh, I just like watching, skinny white chicks, but I'm married to a thick black girl. I'm good with that. No, if you were good with thick and black, then what is your obsession with white? I'm just using that as an example, as white skinny. So no, women who are emotional creatures, that's not gonna work for us.
I can see that, but if you look on there now, porn, it's black men, white women. So it's like the interracial is big time.
What he watches, what he does, and really and truly, when people like to say porn, and mostly it's be men. Oh, it's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with watching a little porn. Well, yeah, really, it is. It is.
Well, because I was reading something the guy wrote, and he said porn messes up the intimacy between a man and a woman.
I can see that because you don't know how to be intimate if you're trying to put on and portray what you're seeing. If what you learned how to be intimate from porn, that's not real intimacy.
But I think older men really shouldn't have that problem.
What, with porn or intimacy?
Never mind. I think about people, and then all of a sudden, that ain't good.
I know a lot of older men who are not all about intimacy, but I most definitely can see how porn would affect that, because then you have an expectation of her being able to do what you're seeing on the screen with the porn, and then when she can't, like, that's a turn off to you because you've been so used to getting excited over watching whoever deep throat and whatever, and then you trying to get up there and do all of this and have an expectation of her to be able to meet those standards. well, I'm not a porn star, or she's not a porn star, so
I had a guy in his mid-30s tell me that we know this. We know we don't expect our women to do what we see on there. And I was like, yeah, you say that, but you want her to be able to do it.
yeah. Chrissy says it sets up unrealistic expectations. And
Yeah.
100%, I can see
Yeah.
how it would set up unrealistic expectations, especially if you expected me to perform based on what you used to seeing visually,
Yeah.
not what you used to receiving, but what you're used to seeing visually.
Yeah.
And nobody can live up to that. Who's going to be able to live up to that?
That's a lot.
But okay, let me throw this wrench in here and ask this question though. So, from a male perspective, would it be an issue for a man if a woman watched porn often and she had to watch porn in order to have sex with him? Would you as a man be offended by that if she was like, "Nah, we got to throw this porn in real quick before we get started. Let me get this porn set up, and this help get me in the mood."
Oh yeah. Now you saying all that? Oh yeah, no. I ain't putting up with that.
And then you come home. Okay. Isn't it? And I wish I had some more guys on here commenting. And fellas, if y'all listening and you on here, I'm gonna need y'all to comment on this question, because often we hear men have issues with women bringing toys into the play.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to bring in the toys, and that makes them feel a certain type of way. You know, you got me, so why you got to bring another dick, whether it be a play dick or not, to the bedroom? Isn't that almost the same as porn for the men?
Well, no, because the toys and stuff don't bother me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's just my thing. It don't bother me. As long as you don't try to fuck with me with it, we all right.
Long as the toy being used on her, you fine with it. Don't come over here this way
no,
with the toy.
With that bullshit now.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, I guess it could be kind of vice versa.
Yeah, but I can't. I do like little buddy did. I'd get my feelings. I walk in the house and
and she laying up there masturbating.
Yeah, and motherfucking on that 70-inch, you see a motherfucker, and I'm like,
yeah, but you ain't getting none.
Oh no, if I ain't getting none, yeah.
See, that's why like I said, I have not experienced it. I have watched porn a couple of times with a couple of guys because it was something they wanted to do. My only request is always we're gonna have to watch it on mute. And then the other thing is, and this is gonna sound crazy, y'all, but y'all know I'm 100%. I'm strictly dickly. But I don't like watching porn and them little skinny girls. I like the thick big booty girls. If you gonna watch a porn and you want me to watch it with you, you better have something on there for me to look at. And so don't bring me all these little skinny little wafer chicks. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Like I like to no. So
you said wafer.
Yeah, I don't want no. Yeah, I want to see some thick sisters or whoever on there. If I got to watch it with you, because otherwise I don't want to see that shit.
I guess I'm more of a natural. I just like the natural woman. I'm good with.
Yeah, I mean, I like. I like again. I ain't into women, but it gotta at least be something I think is nice looking in order for me to watch it. And she come across with some skank on there, I can't sit here and watch this with you because she look busted. And he look busted because some of the men be busted on there too. If he busted, I don't want to watch it. Don't come in here with Slim Jim just because he got a big penis, but he ain't that big. I don't want to watch it.
KO, you got too many damn stipulations.
I like my men thick, and if you gonna make me watch women, I want a thick woman. I'm sorry. I like thickness. I don't like skinniness. That's just my cup of tea. I'm sorry. I can't do it. And I'm not gonna sit here and watch this bullshit with you.
Yeah.
And the bad acting and the hollering and screaming. We got to put it on mute, and you got to have something pleasing for me to look at. Otherwise, I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
I can't do it. But so tell me why you feel, from a male perspective, why you feel how porn really affects a relationship.
Because it like what's that? Christy said, it puts unrealistic expectations. Because I keep, like you said, I keep seeing it. I'm gonna want it. That's what I want, and I want it just like I see it. And it ain't many women that's gonna sit there and do that. The shit that I see.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna do half the shit that they yeah, and I call myself to be I consider myself to be open sexually, but some of that shit they be doing in porn is not about to happen. We're not about to do that. So you're not gonna come up here and think you finna chain me up and flip me upside down and shove balls in different places and all that extra shit. Not happening.
Hey, all them extra women in there.
Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. And so, and you know what? Now I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've never had it as an issue. I've never had it as an issue. And if anybody out there, if you've had it as an issue, please share and comment. Because, I mean, like I said, 100%, I can see how it would be a problem.
Yeah.
I can see how especially for a woman.
Yeah.
Especially for a woman, and it's him that's watching the porn. I think, as we always do, there's double standards in that. If it was the other way around and the woman is the one that's watching the porn, most men are not going to be that upset over the fact that she likes to watch porn. And if he see her in there trying to jack off whatever, he just really going to come and join. But I think Christy said, let me tell, please. You know what? Do you want to come on to the live, Christy? I can send you a link. I will most definitely shoot you a link if you want to pop in on us. Yeah, I most definitely can see how the men would want to just come and join in. But from a female perspective, if I walk in and I see him jacking off the porn, and then if I try to join in or whatever, and then he, goes limp.
Yeah. There's no way.
You don't have to. I'm gonna send you a link through Messenger, Christy. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to turn your camera on. You can leave the camera off. Either way you want to do it. Hold on. I'm going to send you a link.
Yeah, I don't see a man before just, if he jacking off or something, watching that, and she come in and she trying to join, if his shit go limp, they ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, that's gonna be an issue for me. If he go limp and we're not able to because that's a problem. That's a major problem.
I don't see that happening. But hell, who knows?
Here we go. Yeah, that's Christy right there.
Because I'm curious to hear, because I know a friend of mine I was talking to, she was like, yeah, it was a problem with her.
Check your Christy, check your Messenger. I just sent you a link in Messenger. Check your Messenger. Because I welcome. Come on and share your story. Because I want some people who have actually experienced this, so we can really delve in. Because that would be a problem for me. I'm sorry. I 100% tell you right now, I couldn't deal with it as a woman. Yeah. Being in a relationship with a man who enjoys porn, that would be a problem.
Because I didn't watch it much when I was married. I know it was with me and my ex-wife. It wasn't a problem. Oh hell no, that was never a problem.
Let me see if she got, because I really want to hear Christy's story.
Because I bet she got.
It should have went through. Let me.
I don't know though. I'm trying to think of all the stuff I've done.
You know what, Christy? We're not. I think we're not friends, so you may have to look in your request folder. It may not pop up in the regular. It may pop up in requests.
Mm-hmm. No.
Cause yeah, I want some folks.
Now, how mad would you be if your man subscribed to an OnlyFans page?
Okay, she just texted back say got it. OnlyFans, okay, now that's almost the same as porn. Basically, OnlyFans. Hold on, y'all. I'm waiting on Christy. She just messaged and said she got it. So I'm waiting on it to tell me I got somebody sitting behind in the studio, because I want somebody that most definitely has experienced it and knows what it's like.
Yeah, because I never hit that problem.
Oh, there she is. Hold on. We're going to add Christy to the stream. Welcome, Christy.
Hey, can y'all hear me good?
Oh, hold on. Okay, say, go ahead.
Can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, I'm at the Walmart. Yeah, I got to shopping and I couldn't stop. So, but yeah, I'm gonna make it brief because I can be long-winded now, but I'm gonna make it brief and shorten to the point. So, a lot of people don't know I got married in 2002, and my husband at the time was about 5 years younger than me. So, number one, he was still immature because I was 31 and he was what, 20, 24, 25, and just still starting to get out on his own. But what I found out was that he had a porn addiction. And a lot of it had to do with several things. Like when he first got introduced to porn, he was in the 8th grade, and his uncle showed him some porn videos. So that's how it started. And he just kind of went from there. And a lot of it had to do also with the fact that he was a geek and a nerd. So he didn't get any play from any Black women. So he started to have an affinity for white women. Well, that's what his porn desire was. He liked to see white women in porn, and he liked to see 2 white women in porn, and he liked them young. And so as time went on, at first I was like, well, it's porn, no big deal. But I noticed that our sex life started to decline.
Yep.
And
I can see how that would definitely be an issue, yes.
Yeah. So, we newlyweds and, he don't want to have sex no more, but he wanted to be in his office all the time with the door closed. So a couple times, I busted him. He be in there doing his thing and I just bust in the door. What are you doing? And he's in there, doing his thing. So then after a while, he started locking the door, and we had a couple of conversations, and I was like, what's the issue? Why are you looking at so much porn? You don't want to have sex. He had the nerve to say, it's because you're fat.
Oh, wow.
I was not fat. But he was like, you fat and you gaining weight and I'm not attracted to you no more. Which later, after we had some counseling, he admitted that it was a lie. And he just basically felt like I had put him on the spot, and which is another part of his issues. I mean, he had a lot of like social issues.
You put him on the spot, so he lashed out at you to hurt you.
Exactly, exactly. And it started a cascade of a lot of things. Him starting to be able to hide it better, and then me being a better investigator, trying to see what he's doing.
Oh, see, I couldn't have lived that way.
It was terrible. I'm gonna tell you. I had blood pressure issues. I was stressed out. I went to the hospital a couple of times in a hypertensive crisis just because I was stressed about it. And the marriage started to decline, and the more it declined, the more he wanted to look at porn. The more he lashed out at me, the more he talked about how white women were better than black women, and just, I mean, it was a lot going on. And finally, I put a tracker on his computer. I mean, I did a lot of things that I to this day feel like I wish I hadn't done. But
I,
I
I can I
found
can understand that. Yeah, you
Mm.
you never want to be in a relationship that you feel like you've got to go to that extent. Uh,
exactly, and I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I can't live like this. He begged and pleaded. He said he'd go to counseling. We did everything. And it came to a head one day when I was snooping on his computer, and I saw that he had saved some child porn on his desktop. And at that point, I was done. But then after that, the floodgates came open, and he almost lost his job because he was bringing porn to work. So these
oh
back in the
yeah,
days where they
Google
were
it.
floppy disks. You remember the floppy disk, right? The three by
Uh,
five. He was downloading porn onto these disks and bringing them to work and sharing them with his male coworkers.
oh wow.
Yeah, and then he got to the point where he was being missing work because he would be late because he's looking at porn. It just fell apart.
So
And I'm
how?
not saying it was all his fault. I mean, I do take responsibility of the fact that I could have handled it better. We could have had better conversations. All of the snooping and being in his business, I think that made things even worse. Um,
That took away trust.
took away trust, and it made it where he felt he needed to hide it more. And I think that escalated how he was acting and how he was really just. But I'm gonna be honest, I
Okay,
tried
I
everything.
have I have a question. How
Yeah,
was the sex in the beginning?
sex has been again was good, but then it started getting weird. He was wanting me to do things that I was like, I felt uncomfortable doing, things that I felt were degrading, and I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do that. And he would be disappointed, and it turned into, instead of making love, he just wanted to fuck.
Mm.
Like, he wanted to get on top and just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Do some nasty shit all the time. It wasn't no intimate, soft, loving type of thing anymore.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. You lose intimacy oftentimes with porn. It turns it off because there is no intimacy in porn.
Right. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of things in retrospect came out because we did go to counseling before we got divorced. And he had a chance to really say how he felt and what was the reason for things that he did. And a lot of the stuff he said was very hurtful. But I appreciated him being honest about his feelings, because the whole time we were married, we did not have those type of conversations because he felt that I was judging him. He felt that I was being, I don't know what the word is, but just kind of really like making him feel like he's doing something wrong.
Ah.
So, I mean, it was, yeah,
I can see that because that's part of the addiction. You don't want your loved ones to look down on you
Right.
or to make it seem like you're a bad person because that's what you prefer to do. And
right,
a lot of times they look at it, it's not drugs or anything, it's porn.
Right.
But yet it's
right.
still an addiction and it's causing issues within your life that you can't function without.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I tried to watch it with him. It just wasn't the same because he felt uncomfortable with me there.
Hmm.
He couldn't. really relax and do the things that he did when he was looking at porn, and he felt like the content that he wanted to watch was not something that I would be down for. So,
You know what? I'm the same way because, as I said earlier, the content is important. Like I don't want to watch that. Depending on what it is, I'm not going to watch that with you. So
right. Yeah, and he was right. The stuff he wanted to see, I know. I felt dirty, you know. And when I talked to him about it after we got divorced, he was like, it didn't start that way. He started where he was looking at dirty magazines with his cousins, and he got introduced to more things. And at first, it was just some vanilla porn, not nothing really crazy.
hmm
But it got to a point where that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to get him excited. And so he had to go further and further, and see more and more degrading things. And the lure that really got him was the fact that he could fantasize and watch anything and watch them treat these women any kind of way, and she would not talk back.
yeah,
You know, she wouldn't hold him accountable. Okay. And that was his thing. He brought that into the marriage. Even when we would have conversations, he wanted to be able to say whatever he wanted to say to me, no matter how bad it was, and I not respond. So that was part of the fantasy for him. He was the one in control. He was the one being able to be him and not be judged.
yeah, that S&M or dominant and all, you see that quite often with porn, and they look for that within a relationship as well. Uh,
Right. Because growing up, he had no control over his life. He didn't get a job until after he graduated college. He had never had a job. He never bought his own clothes till after he graduated from college.
okay,
Those
so
type of
who was
things.
taking care of him?
Well, what happened was his parents were taking care of him. So he moved from his parents' house to his grandparents' house to my house.
Mm,
And he had never had his own anything. When we first met, yeah, I was paying for his gas and, buying him food because he didn't have a job. He didn't have a job. He didn't have no money, nothing. So once he was able to be on his own and be his own man, it was just like things just went in a different direction. And he was starting to finally have his independence. So, you know, he didn't want us, quote unquote, mother telling him that he couldn't watch porn.
and what age gap was it again?
It's about 5 years, 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
But I
Okay.
was, very mature and he was not. Like I said, I started working when I was 15. I was on my own when I was 18. And so I had to grow up. By the time I was 31, I had a master's degree. I was doing my thing. And, you know,
I
so
wonder if being introduced at such a young age, like in I mean, eighth grade. I mean, I guess that's not really like young, but it's still
That's too much.
yeah, I think he was too young. He was still impressionable.
definitely impressionable.
And like I said, it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse.
No
Yeah.
matter how, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. And so, how long did y'all actually make it, Kristen?
We were married a total of 9 years. Thank you. So
You made
five.
it 9. Did you say 9 years?
Well, what happened was we were married 5 years, and I stayed in the house for 5 years. And then after I left, we were divorced. I mean, we were divorced after 4 years. 4 years later, we got a divorce. But I had left after 5 years.
I don't know if I could have made it 5.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't start to see any of this until after maybe the second year. Around the
Oh,
second
okay,
year,
okay. So
yeah,
he wasn't okay.
he was good at hiding it up until the second year. Then he decided he didn't want to hide it anymore. Because
Wow.
that first year, he had just gotten a job, and he just started working and being independent and learning to pay bills and all the things that he's trying to do. I don't even think he had a laptop at that time.
So he basically allowed porn to destroy his life.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, it definitely destroyed his marriage. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it most definitely is an addiction. It's a sickness that people. Here's the thing: sex and the feeling of sex and the release that comes with ejaculation increases your endorphins and that
Yeah.
dopamine into your bloodstream, and so you get addicted to that
Oh
feeling.
yeah.
I have
Right.
to be honest; I've never been addicted to porn, but at one point in time, I was addicted to masturbation.
Oh.
Wow.
And I really had to check myself on it. It was during my celibate stage. I had decided I was going to be celibate, like, but y'all know I talk about all the time how much I love and I enjoy sex, and so me cutting off men just really led to me masturbating on a regular basis. And when I
Right.
say it became an issue, like I'm talking, I masturbated every day, sometimes twice a day. I had to take a step back and realize for myself, this is a problem, girl. You need to pull up.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Damn.
And so I can see how porn can, I mean, how those different things can become an addiction, because that feeling that you get from the orgasm,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And plus, it was more than just a physical thing for him. It was a social
It's
thing.
mental release.
He was able to be whoever he wanted to be. The
Yeah.
fantasy for him, he could talk and say whatever he wanted to say to this image on the computer, and it'd be acceptable.
Mhm.
So,
Oh wow. Well, I
yeah.
sure appreciate you calling in and sharing your story with us, because
Sure.
that's interesting. I'm like I said, I most definitely can see how it will affect a relationship in that manner.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's hard to deal with. That somebody else's needs and attraction is towards something else, and it's taking them away from you.
Mhm.
Right.
That's the killer.
Right.
Well, that's
Yeah. That was the hardest
the
part.
issue.
You know, me questioning, if you love me, how come you can't stop doing this? If you love me, why can't you work on this? Or why do you want to why do you want to keep doing this, knowing that it's hurting me? And it was just the fact that he couldn't stop.
Yeah, his addiction had a stronger hold on him than his love
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Had him in a chokehold. Yeah, it did, you know. And so that's part of an addiction. A lot of times it's not that they don't love you, it's just that they cannot stop. Even
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
definitely is an addiction, and
Yeah.
people don't think about it that way. Sex can be an addiction. There's just like food and eating can
Mhm.
be an addiction. There's so many things that when people find gratification for it, they become addicted to it, and they
Right.
have to have it in order for them to have some type of normalcy within their life.
Mhm.
And
Right.
I get it, because masturbation was my release. It relaxed me. It was my stress reliever. It was my calm. And I did not realize how much I became addicted to it until later. They're like, okay, girl,
Mm.
you've got to stop, because this is too much.
Right.
Twice a day, every day is too much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And so
Yeah.
I could see, I mean, and imagine if I'm in a relationship, I prefer him. Now, 100%, I prefer a man over. But like I said, at that time, I was in my celibate stage, and masturbation became an addiction for me. But what I will say that I noticed when I did get back into dating, physical intimacy with a man was different, because I was used to my touch.
Mhm.
And so I had to get out of my head and let go of what I enjoyed feeling for myself and learn to give in to his touch and the way he
Right.
handled me. That it was an adjustment. It was an adjustment. Cause I'm gonna tell you, can't nobody get me off the way I can get me off. And
That
so,
part.
yeah, nobody knows your body better than you know your body. So, it was an adjustment for me. But I had to straight up learn, okay, you got a problem. This is an addiction, and you need to deal with it.
It's kind of eye-opening.
Yes, and people don't think about it that way.
No.
And really and truly, it could have led to more issues with me. Like, say, for instance, if I was in a relationship, that would have made it difficult for him because he would have been the same way. But damn, you'd rather get in the shower and masturbate than to be with me. Like that's a problem.
Yeah, because once you do it, come on.
Yeah, it's a problem. So yeah, I had to take a step back and look at that. But Christy, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story with us.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me tonight.
Absolutely, honey. Anytime we have to get together and talk about, we have to have you come on the show.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Okay, I'll reach out to you most definitely. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.
All
All right,
right,
you too.
bye.
Bye.
But yeah, I'm so glad she called in and shared it. Let me turn that back down to take the echo away. I had to turn my speakers back up because y'all know I hate to wear headphones and different things. We had an hour too. But that was nice of her to come and be honest and share her story.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes people are not willing to share those type of stories. But I can only imagine that would be a major issue for me to you hiding and I'm finding you in the bathroom watching porn or you in another room with the door shut
But I can see how it happens. The setup when she said, he was a geek, didn't have many interactions with women.
Yeah.
I can see that pushing him towards that.
Yeah, because it was his fantasy. If I can't get a real woman, then I'm gonna get
right.
I can have my image of what I consider to be a real woman or my fantasy. As you were saying, it's a fantasy. And it's satisfying their fantasy. But when that fantasy starts to spill over into real life, then it becomes a problem because whoever your partner is or whoever that other person is, more than likely is not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to live up to that fantasy, or either they're not going to be willing to attempt to live up to that fantasy. Right. So that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
A big difference. But all right, y'all, we are at an hour on that, and thank you so much, Christy, for calling in and sharing with us your story on that. Because wow, I can see how porn addiction can most definitely ruin a relationship, whether it be her or him. But I do feel like there's a double standard because men are going to look at it a little bit different if she's got a porn addiction as opposed to the way that women are going to look at it. Yeah. If it starts to cause a problem for him, then maybe he may change. But oftentimes men kind of get turned on by watching women, masturbate and watch porn and those kind of different things. It's a turn on for him. But for us women, we're a little different. We're a little different.
It's a turn on because he's going to be, no matter what happens, he's still going to be involved in it somehow.
Yeah, whether he just watching and jack himself off or however he's getting his. Yeah. So it's kind of a double standard. But us women, we're not going to be that calm about it. We're not going to be like, oh, let me just, because I'm offended by the fact that you needed to look at this to even get up. Like that doesn't work for me. Yeah. That doesn't work for me. I'm so physical. I'm that type that if you gonna I want the thought of me to get you hard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I work for. Yeah. And so to know that it requires something else to get you up and it's not me, like that's a problem for me. I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for. I am such a physical sexual person that I had a partner at one time who had an injury and had a neck injury, and the neck injury caused. It wasn't an issue with him getting up, but it was an issue with him getting off because it desensitized him. The nerve, he didn't have, his sensitivity was less, and so getting him off was a problem. And I had issues with that, even though that I knew that it wasn't me, that it was a medical issue. The simple fact that it just me alone couldn't get him off. Now I would always participate, do whatever needed to be done to get there, but it did bother me that it couldn't just be me, you know.
Yeah.
That was the issue. Even though I psychologically I knew why.
Yeah.
I 100% knew why, and I knew it wasn't because of me, but it still bothered me.
You'd be like, my job ain't done.
Right, because I feel like I didn't do my job. And my job, what did I say all the time? He get it up. My job is to get it down. And if I'm not able to get it down, then I failed at my job.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. Yeah, that bothered me. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to get off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed Rick's show tonight, even though I still feel like I talk more than you, Rick. This supposed to be your show.
KO, you talk all the time.
You know what? Next time we're gonna do a Rick show. I ain't gonna say shit. I'm gonna sit over here in this chair.
Hey, we're gonna be in this motherfucker like this.
You know what? And the funny thing about that, when I was at Southern Flair for the speed dating thing that night, and I was talking to somebody, and I can't remember. Oh, I invited a guy on the. I was like, you come on the show, and he was like, I don't know if you want me on the show. I'm shy. I be real quiet. And he was like, you got to really like to talk to people. If you want to have a show. I said, dude, I look like I got a problem talking to people. So he said, no, you don't come across as the type that have issues with conversating. I said, no, that's not me. But thank y'all for tuning in. I will catch y'all. Am I going to do a show next week? What's next week?
It's the week after we're not. Next week's 16th.
Next week is the 16th.
We're not doing it the 23rd.
Oh, yeah, that's Christmas. That's too close. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's the Christmas. Well, not Christmas Eve, but Christmas Eve's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we won't do a show. Am I going to do a show? I think my cousin. I'm got to find out. My cousin doing something. That's my cousin's birthday weekend.
Which one?
My sister cousin. She talking about going to the casino. You want to go to the casino with us? We talking about going to we just gonna go up and come back. It's gonna be the day trip. Damn, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll let you know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, we're gonna have to go. Did you go to the office today at the apartment complex? Brittany said, I think I saw Rick today.
Man, I'm gonna tell you about that story. I was like, and I'm gonna get kicked out.
Okay. But all right, y'all, we gonna get off of here. Then I got to hear Rick's story because he know he ain't going nowhere. My daughter is the manager at the apartment complex. But all right, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in.
Oh man.
She